I'm gonna tell you a story, yeah? The year is 2007, yeah? I just turned 21. They removed me from from Felton prison and sent me to Wandsworth prison. I had to go to Kingston Crown Court. So after you turn 21, you have to go to court. They remove you from Felton. So they moved me from Felton. They sent me to adult jail. I went to Wandsworth. You know me, as you guys can probably tell by now, I'm an organizer. I'm not very organized, but I'm an organizer. I like to make things happen. So like when I went to other jails, for example, I started a casino, I started a betting shop and so on. I had my shop where I used to sell food to people, like eating food, not that's other food, yeah. So I do those sort of things. When I was in HMP Ford, for example, I held a race event, I had a charity event as well, a football event I done for the Sickle Cell Society. So when I go places, I like to engage within whatever's going on and try to make myself comfortable while in there, while also helping and supporting the man them. So anyway, in Wandsworth, I'm one of the youngest, and they made me the violence reduction rep. The violence reduction rep. So my role was basically to try to reduce the violence within the jail by going to speak to the older man them and saying that, yo, you man, and shout out Frank from Hackney. He was we call him Uncle Frank now them days, but now he turned his name to Frankie Boy. But shout out Frank anyway. So me and him with the violence reduction, I think he was like maybe 3 or 4 years older than me. I think he was on a food case with a couple other people from Hackney. And anyway, they made me and Frank the violence reduction rep. So I was like, alright, cool. My role as a violence reduction rep is speak to the man. I'm like, yo, you man, like let's keep it cool. Let's like no fighting and so on, right? But this is how, yeah, the story, my point about this story is this, yeah, is how beef from road, yeah, can follow you on the inside. And on road, you can cut out. You might see the ops cut out, breeze it, jump in your car, skirt, gone, right, yeah? In jail, there's nowhere to run. And if they catch you, oh, man. So anyway, part of my role as a violence reduction rep, yeah? So whenever there was a queue, dinner queue, me and Frank had to stay there, make sure no one's pushing in and so like, yo, you man, allow it. Not that everyone ever listened to me, but you know what it was? Everyone liked me because the youngest guy in the jail was a bit loud as well, but everyone was kind of cool with me anyway, yeah? Now what's happened is there was a couple people, older people than me, older generation, right? And they got some intense road beef, like mad road beef, yeah? So imagine it on the wing, but people come to my cell. So my cell was the place everyone used to come and I used to run like PlayStation tournaments and Pro Evolution. We didn't do FIFA them, they used to do Pro Evolution tournaments. So people used to come to my cell. Everyone was cool sort of thing, right? And one time there was a guy, yeah, from Brixton. There's a guy from Brixton, right? And he had issues with people on road. I think they tried to rob his chain or something. They end up shooting him or something like that, right? And anyway, I think he's bucked up with some of the people that had done it, who was from sort of a different area, right? And he must have seen the guy. Obviously everyone's getting their dinner, and up the stairs, he just cracked my man, banged him in the face. Then at the violence reduction rep, I'm going to like, yo, what's going on? Then the guy who got banged looked at the next brother that was with him, like, yo, you gonna just let my man bang me in my face like that? And the guy's like didn't want to kind of get involved, right? And he's like, shit, what am I supposed to do, sort of thing, right? And then we think, bro, why did my man bang my man in the face? I asked him, like, he didn't want to tell him, like, what's going on? And I'm like, yo, you man, come on, man. We meant to try to reduce the violence in the jail and so on, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, the next day, I've gone to work, right? I was doing bricklaying. I was learning how to do construction and bricklaying, right? When I've come back, the wing is locked up. I'm like, bro, why is the wing locked up? So what they done was, like, they said, all right, cool. You man have a one-on-one fight in it, sort out. So they took them to the 4 showers upstairs. Then the 4 showers. Then what's happened? The guy from Brixton who banged the guy, obviously he meant to have one-on-one with the other guy, yeah. But when in the shower now, they blocked them in there, and one big hench brother. Like this guy was huge. He was huge. Like he was so hench, and I think he was from Tottenham or something. I can't remember, but he was hench. He grabbed the brother from Brixton, held him, and my man couldn't move. and just had the other brother punching him up, fucking him up non-stop. They cut him up, they fucked him up like proper mad, like his eyes were all up. And so when I come back on the wing, obviously everyone's locked up and everyone tell me, "Rah, where was you, Mr. Violence Reduction Officer?" I'm like, "Violence Reduction Officer? Like, what the hell? What you want me to do? I can't do anything." I told him, Frank, like, what are we supposed to do? And like the way they fucked him up was so bad. But all stems from something that happened on road, where my man was initially robbed, and obviously he's come back to jail, set pace, and then they've grabbed him after and they fucked him up. So my man got moved to a different wing after that, and the other brothers they got life or whatever they was in for as well, right? But sometimes, yeah, like my issue sometimes I always want to be peacemaker. And oh, you man, like sometimes there's beef that's beyond you. That you know what? Just keep your mouth shut. I'm not getting involved in this. I'm not even touching this. Like there's some things that goes on. Like nah, it's so mad. It's so intense out there. You can't even like try to be a mediator. Like being a mediator gets you in trouble. Or sometimes there's some beef. You're like, what? That's what's happening. Nothing to do with me, mate. I'm not even getting involved. Because sometimes you get caught up in the middle. And I was not about to get caught up with this middle because these brothers, they were all serious brothers. And like I said, later on, some of their cases, they all got lifed off and stuff like that. And it just made me think to myself, like, raw. It's a mad world that we live in, you know. Is that there's some things that where the beef is so intense and so crazy that there's no amount of words that can ever stop it, that can ever. That's why I said to myself, oh, sorry about that. I've got toothpaste. Yeah, that's what I always said to myself, yeah. I said this year, if you're in that world, you better know how to protect yourself on road, in jail, and back on road again. Because it works many different ways. On road, you have a madness and you have to look after yourself and that madness is peak for you or it's peak for the other brothers. You have to always be on guard. Because of the result of that thing there, when you go to jail, the beef gets cracking again, and you have to also be on guard and look out for yourself and look for the other people who are looking for you. And then when stuff happens in jail, when you jump back out on road again, boom, it's on site again. That's why so many people hear, oh, my man got killed a week after coming out of jail. Oh, I swear my man just got released the other day. You always hear it. People get released from jail and boom, next thing they're gone. Like touch wood, God forbid, I've been out of jail 5 years now. 5 years that I've been out of jail, and I feel like I'm flourishing, and I wish the man them who come out of jail can see, you know what, there's another way. And don't get me wrong, I don't like to sell people dreams. I like to make people think, oh, it's easy. I done it easy. I tell people all the time, I done a night shift in the bagel factory when I got out of jail. I grinded. We used to sit outside the Tesco's with our buckets, collecting money for the football club. Like, yo, we're happening with football club, come and support us, and so on. But there is so many other avenues that you can make. And like I said, even with this platform, right? It's got to a point now where I can make it a revenue stream. And I don't want it just to be about me telling these stories either. I want to do other stuff. I've got like a podcast that's coming with a girl. Her name is Victoria. I can call her a girl, a woman. Her name is Victoria. She's going to start having her podcast on my channel as well, where she invites different guests. They bring 5 of their tracks and they talk about why those tracks are so important to them in their lives. Just something new, something different. There's so many avenues that we can get ourselves into. But I just want to talk about the whole violence thing, man. Because I'm hearing the beef is frying everywhere at the moment. Beef is popping everywhere at the moment. There's no money when you know how much money you have to spend to be beefing. You have to go and buy your Rambos. You have to go and buy your getaway cars. You have to go and buy the cars you're gonna go and do the madness in. Yeah. You have to go and buy gloves. Okay, gloves are not right. But when you're buying gloves, remember, you know the maddest thing, yeah. See when you're gonna buy these weapons and you're gonna buy petrol to burn your car and stuff like that. Like Fed's got a receipt of these things, you know. They're not okay. This thing, so like if you're not using cash and stuff, Feds know all these things. Then CCTV goes back to okay, this car was suspicious. They're watching everything. Then you have to go and buy guns and stuff like that. It's expensive to go to war. It's expensive to be beefing. Cause then you can't even just go and do your regular shotting either, can you? Cause you're always looking over your shoulder. Cause then you think, oh shit, and it's going shot to Bill over there. But fucking hell, Bill's in that territory. I have to be on my guard. So you might think, no, I ain't gonna shot to Bill today because of all the beef you're having. Just be mindful. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I've got all the manuals. I'm just saying, if you can avoid the beef, avoid it. Okay, let's say them man there, let's say I'm sitting here right now, and them man over there, I got beef with them. When I see them on site, yeah, I don't need to go over there then. I'll just stay at home. I'll just stay over this side. I'll stay over this side. Therefore, I'm living another day. I'm not gonna go over there because I got beef with them. I'm gonna go over there and put myself in danger and do a madness. And then sometimes, like after a while, beef dies down, you know? After a long while, beef dies down. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years before you know it, man, I'm in their 30s, like, oh, what the hell was we beefing over, man? That was long, man. But anyway, who am I to tell you anything? I'm just Bob. I'm just giving my little 2 pence, right? Anyway.